This is the historic Hudson Mills. I'm Darren, and this is the Industrial Revolution. Back in 1827, Cornelius Osterhout, along with Isaac Hull, built the first mill at this site on the Huron River. The first mill was a sawmill, which was typically the first mill built when settlers started to move into an area. The first thing people needed, obviously, was lumber. They had to build a house, they had to build farms, all the farm buildings. So the sawmill was built here, and that was followed not too long later by a grist mill. The grist mill was built in 1844. Now that farmers were in the area, they needed a place to grind their grain. It's a huge farming area around here. There were a lot of grist mills. In fact, the Huron River, you can see how much water there is here now. It's a little high. But this river, over a period distance of maybe 130, 140 miles, at one point had something like 100 mills on it. Grist mills, flour mills, sawmills, paper mills, pulp mills, you name it. They were built on this river. Well, after the grist mill came, later on they built a cider mill here and a plaster mill as well. You can tell things are getting fancy in an area when they've given up on just plain wood and they're building plaster mills. So in 1870, Thomas Burkitt bought up the grist mill, which was at that point showing some signs of wear. He rebuilt it, put in all new equipment, and marketed it heavily to the local farmers. Apparently it was successful. Then in 1882, Burkitt actually added a pulp mill here. Wood pulp is used in production of paper, of course. That's what you see the remains of today, is the pulp mill. Let's go across the river and take a look and see what we have over there. The sawmill, gone. Grist mill, nothing left of that one either, I'm afraid. What about the cider mill? Nope, that's gone too. So what we have left is the 1882 pulp mill, or, well, part of it anyway. Let's go take a look and see how much is actually still left. There's the stone wall on the river side. You can see if you look at the edges here, this was the back wall, and there's end walls that's extended towards the river, most likely with a wooden structure. I have here a large concrete area between two walls. It was most likely the working part of the pulp mill down in here, as well as the water channel would have no doubt been down in this section. I have the deep grooves here that have allowed both sluice gates as well as good solid firm mounting points for the equipment. On the uphill side, the wall is in considerably worse shape than the downhill side. Well, the downhill side's not in such wonderful shape either. I suppose that shouldn't be surprising, since this has been abandoned for over 100 years. Well, the water here, as you can see, is pretty high today. Originally there was a wooden dam stretched across here. Back up the water, give us a little more height, more power. That's gone now, obviously. That would have been built close to 200 years ago. Allegedly, although I've never seen it, in extreme low water, you still find traces of the dam. In high water like we have today, not a chance.
As
far as we know, all the mills here were actually pretty successful, at least for a while. When you move settlers into an area, what ends up happening is that they need to have that local sawmill to get their lumber. It costs a lot of money to ship lumber, keeping in mind that you're shipping them with horse-drawn carts over basically just rutted tracks through the woods. Once you've got farms operating, you need a grist mill. Grist mills can really only reach out about 5 miles or so without good transportation. As transportation improves, however, you can start to move into more regional mills. It ends up being cheaper to build a larger regional mill. With that economy of scale, farmers can pay to send their grain to the large regional mill, and they still make more profit than using the local mill. The millers can grind it, and then they can sell the flour off to local stores, and the stores can get it cheaper from these larger mills. So there just really isn't that much need for the small local mill anymore. So as time went on, even after the rebuild from Burkett, the grist mill closed, the sawmill closed, the cider mill closed, the plaster mill closed. Then eventually in 1913, even the pulp mill over here closed, and that's over 100 years ago. That's kind of the way things work with these early mills, especially the local mills. They just don't have staying power once you get really good solid transportation into an area. So we've lost quite a bit. What you see today is preserved within the Hudson Mills Metropark, just north of Dexter, Michigan. And today you can go explore what's left of the ruins. And unfortunately there's not a whole lot left over there, but it's a good stop if you happen to be canoeing through here. There's a great river for canoeing and kayaking, incidentally. So as you go down any river, especially rivers like this, make sure you keep an eye out to the sides. You'll never know what you might find, because it's not just the Huron, it's rivers all over the world that sprouted mills like these ones. And when you see one, stop and take a look and see if you can see what it was. It's stuff like this. That is the Industrial Revolution.